Hello, my name is Kate Hatch. My son Michael is a 7th grader at Clark Middle School. I'm so sorry I'm not able to join you all live today, but fortunately I was able to video this and send it to Mike to share with you all. A little bit about our experience with Ethos last year. For Michael thankfully was chosen to be a part of the program piloted last year at Clark. When we first received the letter, just asking for permission for him to participate, didn't really know much about it, kind of researched a little bit, talked to Michael about it, and he was like, okay, why not? So he went, not really knowing what to expect, and neither did we. But the experience that he had last year with this program and these mentors changed his life, really, and ours. Michael is truly a relationship kid. Being in elementary school, he had phenomenal teachers, but he didn't always have those connections where he felt completely heard and supported. And for Michael, if he has someone that's on his side, he will do anything to the ends of the earth for them. But if he feels like a teacher doesn't have his back or second guesses him, then he'll just kind of do the bare minimum. And so we were really happy for the transition to 6th grade because he was able to have a fresh start, clean start. None of the teachers knew him, so he could kind of remake who he wanted to be known as. And Ethos was just such a perfect segue for him to do that. In Ethos, he learned kind of leadership skills and this legacy plan of who he wanted to be, where he saw himself going, and how he was going to get there, and what kind of person he was going to be inside. And for Michael, I think it took a lot of self-reflection for him, and seeing these mentors and hearing what they had to say and knowing that they were there for him and truly had his back meant the world to him. While going through this, and also he was pairing it with his teachers who happened to be the most amazing middle school teachers. I taught middle school for 7 years. I know how hard it is, and they had his back. And with COVID, it was so hard because we never got to meet them. I get a few emails from them at the beginning of the year and just kind of go off a 6th grader coming home and telling me very little about them. But we started to get emails saying, thank you for sharing Michael with us, and he is such a great kid, and he always adds insight to the class. And this was different. We never received anything like this before. And so it just, after talking to Michael, he just had this fire and this drive inside of him that he didn't want to just do well in school and make good grades. He wanted to be great. And so if he got something that he knew wasn't his best, he would do everything to fix it. And this was an internal motivation he never had before. A big thing for Michael, too, is he always wants to be heard. He wants his voice to be heard. He's very much one for just and everything to be fair, and he always wants people to be heard, especially himself. But he never knew how to do it the right way. And that's one thing that he learned through Ethos is communication and how to do things and to make your voice heard. The biggest impact, I think, was when my husband and I were watching the legacy presentation of Michael afterwards. He hesitated when he got up there to speak, and I think 'cause he wasn't planning on being up there to talk, but he ended up going anyway. And then when he was in the middle of his speech, he kind of stumbled. You can tell that he wanted to say something but didn't, and was hesitant on it. And that's one thing that Everson Walls came back and said to him. It's like, I know you had something to say. Why did you stop? Like, don't ever do that. Don't second guess yourself, because what you have to say is meaningful, and it can make an impact on people. And when we stopped and talked to Michael about that, he was like, yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't even think about that. And so it was something that he heard, and now it's stuck with him. So he always wants to be sure his point is heard and it gets across to others. Another thing with Ethos that has helped us is now we are forming those connections that we didn't have before and like partnering with the teachers and with Mrs. Duffy, who's amazing, and everyone in the administration with Michael, how to support him, what we can do. And now with Ethos, I have been constantly probably driving Mike Davis crazy. I always text him and say, what's going on with Ethos? Talking about Michael as a football kid, that's all he talks about. And so Mike came out and watched him play football, which meant the world to him. Because Michael knew that it wasn't just this 10-week program that he did that is going to follow him, and that he knew that people were still remembering him and checking on him, just built all that confidence inside of him. So now Michael is a completely different kid. He always had a lot to say at home and wouldn't say it or share it at school or with other people. But now he has that confidence in him, knowing that it's okay to speak up and say what you need to say, and people will listen. And so this program is just, I'm so happy that Frisco has adopted it, and it's going to be shared with other schools, because kids like Michael, I would never think that he would be chosen for it, because he was not a troublemaker, but he wasn't the best kid. He wasn't one that would get in trouble or ever failing, or he just kind of slid by, and sometimes was known as I don't know. It just was, it was different for me to see how, I always want to know how he was chosen, and I was just very thankful that he was. So, it can be offered to any kid, even not always just the underdog, but the high achiever who might still have some self-esteem issues. Or it would be a great thing for those silent leaders that don't know how to express themselves or don't have the confidence in them to do it. And so for now, I'm glad I have the chance to partner with Ethos and be able to help other parents ask questions, figure out what's going on in the village, what they can do to help support their kids in this program, and to partner with them, because a lot of it starts at home. So I just hope that I can continue to give back to the village for how much they did for our family. And I just am excited for what this school year can bring. So I look forward to talking to you all again soon. Thank you so much for letting me talk. Bye-bye.